Hey guys, I'm Martin Clubber, and you're stuck in the video outhouse.
Hey, what do you know? The Outhouse gang has an opinion. Who would have thought? If only we could get them a seat at the UN. Huh? Think about it. Time for Shop Talk.
Hey gang, Comic Book Man here. How you doing? Welcome to the Video Outhouse. We're doing Shop Talk once again, and we didn't get any decent questions off of Facebook, so I put together a question for the Outhouse gang. And of course, the Outhouse gang consists of Bo, him,
JR,
him, and him.
There's some handsome lads.
And the question is, since the last time we did one of these, DC has restructured itself. Actually, Warner's has restructured DC Comics into DC Entertainment.
Oh.
Okay? And they did that for a reason. The reason is to try to push the characters into people's faces more often and to upgrade the brand, as it were, at DC Comics. Is this a good thing for DC, and is this a good thing for the industry or not? Gentlemen!
Bo.
Okay, it is a very good thing for
Take
DC.
it away.
A very good thing for DC because, you know, these guys get movies. They can't get a movie off the ground. So, of course, the entertainment company should be running the entertainment part of the thing. Now, what this means...
Comic books are entertainment?
Yes, comic books
DC Comics are entertainment?
Well, some of them, yeah.
Shit! Go back.
The one thing we should mention is the fact that because of the restructuring, President Paul Levitz, he's no longer a president. He's actually
what is he?
I thought Barack Obama was the president.
He's the president of the United States, but he has nothing to do with Warner's. He is going to be a consulting editor.
They haven't bought him yet.
He's going to be a consultant in general, and he's going to be writing adventure comics, which will have more of why Paul's going over to adventure comics in the DC News Partial section. But right now, the company doesn't have a publisher. They're going to hire a publisher, but the point is, they want to get the DC characters out there in the media like everything else. And one of the main things Miss Nelson wants to do, because she's the
Diane Nelson,
who's actually the person behind
DCE.
DC Universe, which is the people who did the Green Lantern and all those movies.
Warner Premiere.
She wants to get motion comics started. Because for some reason, whenever people came to DC about motion comics, when you ask them at cons, they'd go, "What are those?"
Yeah.
I don't know, something the rest of the industry's been doing for 2 years now?
For those of you who don't know, Diane Nelson was the president of Warner Premiere, which was a small video arm of Warner Communications, which was responsible for doing all the direct-to-DVD videos that DC has done recently. The Green Lantern one, the Wonder Woman one, the upcoming Public Enemies one, the Superman one, and so on. The Batman manga one.
The Batman manga.
They also did other things, too.
Other things as well.
Not just that. But she was in charge of that, and she was also in charge of shepherding the Harry Potter franchise from the book end of Warner Brothers to the movie end of Warner Brothers, and that's been sort of kind of successful.
Yeah, that didn't work out at all.
So she's been put in charge of DCE now, and so she's the one who's doing all this.
She's the one.
Or we're going to be doing all this.
And Diane Nelson has said she's not going to take over as publisher. She's going to bring someone in to be a publisher. And I guess they've been interviewing people left and right. But one of the things that
Dan Dido.
From high school.
One of the things that has been happening is they've sort of made it unofficially a cleric of rumors. Certain people who were friends of Paul Levitz's will be let go from the company, but not someone we all like, Karen Berger, because
we love Karen Berger.
Vertigo actually has been doing a fine job marketing their characters, and they got a whole bunch of movies and pilots and a whole bunch of stuff going. So Karen Berger is safe, but there are a couple of other people who've been hanging around Paul Levitz. They're more than likely going to be unemployed in, I don't know, a couple months or so. But good deal, good deal.
I do want to bring up the point that the DC announcement was made hot on the heels of the Marvel announcement.
Yes, it was.
Suspicious.
1 week later.
1 week later.
Yeah, I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but that just smacks of, hey, Marvel's getting too much of the press, too much ink right now. So we need to do something. And if you remember, when Marvel made the announcement, the press went to DC, and DC said, we have no comment on this situation. And then, what was it, a week, 2 weeks after that DC made their announcement.
And although actually, Jim, there have been rumors. Nelson had been put in charge of this section of Warner's about a month before that, and there had been rumors that there were going to be some big changes at DC. So this wasn't exactly a major shock, which is why Paul Levitz was not really like screaming that he got voted. But yes, the timing really was strange.
The timing is conspicuous.
The timing is very conspicuous because it's 1 week after.
But be that as it may, do we really want the entertainment end or the movie end running the comic end? Creatively, who's going to be picking artists and writers? Are these books going to be keyed towards movie releases, which is, gee, that's different. But editorially, how is this going to affect the comics? That's my only question. It's different, I think, than the Marvel deal.
Yeah.
in that
Well, it's all in-house.
It's all in-house. Yeah. This has a feel of the movie end of things dictating what the comic end is going to do, and I find that a little questionable.
Bottom up instead of top down.
Exactly.
It's the exact opposite kind of what Marvel worked towards when they acquired the rights to make their own movies around their characters, and so far all the movies they made have been really successful. Once Disney bought them out, you kind of saw Warner Brothers taking a step back and saying, well, wait a second, maybe if we get more involved with the properties we own, maybe the movies we make will be better. That's what I'm assuming. Like JR said, where is everything coming from? I know Marvel has gone to a lot of movie and TV writers to write books recently. You haven't seen so much of that outside of like Kevin Smith and Richard Donner doing anything really over in DC too much. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent towards it. I mean, Warner Brothers has always owned DC. They've always had an opportunity to take from a plethora of properties that have potential, and yet it's all been untapped. So it might be their chances at backing up and saying, well, we have all this stuff. Let's see where it goes, and let's put some money behind it. So who knows? Maybe you'll see an increase in quality in terms of films and TV, and I don't know. I hope it doesn't affect the comics. But
well, the big difference between the two companies has always been this. At Marvel, when you were doing a movie, they would go and talk to the people at Marvel. At DC, when they were doing the movie, they go, oh yeah, here's a script. You can read it. Bye.
So they didn't have any input.
They had no input whatsoever in movies at all. Nothing.
But Marvel has tons of input.
Marvel basically has people who report who just, here's the movie. Okay, well, you can do this. Okay, we'll do that. Well, you can do this. Okay, you want to design some sequences? Yeah, okay, go ahead and do it.
But DC still comes up with the best movies.
So far.
The Batman stuff's always better than
those are.
But the Batman stuff is infinitely better, but that's the only thing. And why is that? Because Christopher Nolan said, this is my franchise. Everybody get the hell away from me and leave me alone.
Well, they also rolled the dice on Bryan Singer with Superman, which didn't quite work out. But it was an intent there to do something of quality. It wasn't just throwing something together. Yeah. It didn't work for him, but at least the attempt was there. Nolan doing Batman is a shoo-in every time out. But beyond that, you're right. They don't seem to know what to do with Wonder Woman. They don't seem to know what to do with Justice League at this point outside of animated stuff. So we'll see. I mean, I'm playing a wait and see attitude.
They're making a Lobo movie.
Great. Guy Ritchie's making a Lobo.
And they won't use any bullets. It's going to be
Lobo movie.
It's going to be cerebral.
Exactly.
So anyway, what do you guys think? Is this a good move for DC? A bad move? How do you think? Is this going to be positive overall? Negative?
I think it'll be positive overall. DC's always had a rep of being editorial heavy. I think now it'll be a little less editorial heavy because a lot of the problems between DC and Marvel were due to Paul Levitz, not anybody else. And so they may be a little more amenable, since these are two big media companies, to go, well, we could talk about having our characters hang out together.
Don't touch me.
Well,
have some coffee or something.
Yeah, but now it'll be Warner's talking to Disney, not DC talking to Marvel. Yeah. What about you?
Wishful thinking on my part. I hope it's a positive. In reality, I'm playing a wait-and-see game. I'm not really sure how this is going to go.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I'd rather wait and see than judge it, beforehand. I don't really care either way.
That's what I like. Empathy.
That's the problem with your generation.
Yeah, I know, my generation.
And we would all like to announce our candidacies to be chosen as a new publisher for DC Entertainment.
Yeah, I'm set. I'm ready.
Leave a comment on Facebook, and just let us know, and we'll be more than willing to come in and hang out with you.
Yeah, we'll come down and we'll publish DC.
I use spell checker.
I want Blue Beetle. I want Blue Beetle.
You got it.
Doom Patrol movie.
I'll take Booster Gold.
Doom Patrol movie.
So anyway, that's it. My attitude is pretty much like the Marvel attitude. I'm not sure how on a distribution level that's going to affect these books. I got a feeling it's probably going to be lesser than with Marvel, although there's many other things that we haven't mentioned, which they haven't mentioned, which isn't really pertinent to this, but Diamond Comics, which distributes this stuff, could get bought out by DC. They still have that out clause till 2011. That could still happen if something happens with Marvel, if they decide to pull out the Diamond catalog, but that's a whole nother kettle of fish. So for me, I'm not sure if it's a good move or a bad move, but generally speaking, I'm hopeful. So that's it for this time. Hope that shed a little bit of light on the DC restructuring. Until next time, this is Comic Book Man
and the Outhouse Gang.
We all feel much better after.
Yeah, we vented.
We feel good.
Yeah,
it's great.
I've been drinking for hours. Anyway, that's it. We're done. We'll see ya. Bye. 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 Hey, everybody! Dang, you feel like them jeans and shirt nasty.
Are the credits done yet?
Yeah,
how are my arms tired?